Hello and welcome to Tracy Momey Reads. I'm back again with another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing Axe Again Yes by Mary Beth Keane. And I am going to attempt to do a hot take. And a hot take is where I do like a short 3 to 5 minute review of a book and just to hit the hot points and let you guys know if it's worth it or not. And this particular book is like upwards of like 380 pages. So good luck with me trying to keep this short for you guys. Anyway, this was on my list like all year and I finally got to it. I feel such a sense of accomplishment. Anyway, so without further ado, Axe Again Yes, Mary Beth Keane. So the book, it explores like, family drama, generational curses, trauma, and forgiveness. It's a book that takes place over 4 decades. When the book first opens, I believe it's 1973, and you have these two police officers. They're like rookie cops, they get called to a robbery in New York. And so it just kind of follows them for just like a brief moment, how they're young and starting out. And I think one of them came over from Ireland to New York for a better life. And that's the whole thing. They just want a better life and they want, to try to have this piece of the American pie and American dream. So the first thing that they do is they move out to the suburbs. They didn't want to raise their family in the city with all the crime and the dirt and the grime and all that stuff. And one of them moves out to the suburbs before the other one. And it's funny because the other guy had been talking about it, but his partner makes the move first. And it's not until, I want to say maybe a year or so later, that the guy moves into the neighborhood, ironically enough, right across the street from him. At this point, they're merely like co-workers and casual acquaintances. They're no longer partners, so they don't see each other that often. But now they become neighbors. But even though their relationship has kind of, as most adult relationships are wont to do, their kids end up becoming really close. And those are like the main 2 characters of the book, Kate and Peter. So you got these 2 families living across the street. Their kids start off as just, childhood buddies and play cousins until they kind of get to their preteens and, young teenage years where they start liking each other and falling for each other and all that kind of stuff. And Peter's mom, she suffers from mental illness. And I don't know that they ever called it anything in the book, but I don't know if it's bipolar disorder with like a flash of PTSD, because as you read the book and you kind of find out her backstory, just wonder if that didn't have something to do with how she kind of moves throughout the story, because she just does not want Peter with Kate. They're the same age. They're like kids, but she's acting like Kate is some older woman trying to lure in her baby with her feminine wiles or something. So, and the thing that's crazy is that the reason why Peter, I don't think they called him Pete, but Peter, why he spends so much time with Kate is because he's seeking solace from his mom. So while she's trying to hold on to him, he's running away and running to the person that she can't stand. So there's a tragedy that takes place and it pretty much unravels both families' lives. It's an awful thing that happens, and it pretty much threatens to split up Kate and Peter forever. And eventually, because like I said, the book takes place over 4 decades, they find their way back to each other. Not sure if that's a spoiler, but they do, and it takes a while though. And so you're reading all of the different characters' points of view from after the tragedy and the trauma and all that stuff. And, the only complaint I had is there were times when you were reading one character's point of view that you found out about what's going on with the other character's life. Point in case, there was a chapter with Peter's mom, right? She's talking kind of about what's going on with her, but in her chapter and in her story, she's like, yeah, and now that Kate and Peter are back together, blah, blah, blah. That's how we find out. It's like, I felt like that was a bit anticlimactic. I would have loved to hear Peter's point of view or Kate's point of view of when that moment actually happened. But we jump, kind of after the fact, and that's the only part I'll say that I didn't like. And I'll also say that this book is a very slow burn. If you're looking for something like fast paced and full of action, this book is not it. It's such a deep character study. It's heartwarming and heartbreaking at times. And it's just the kind of story that stays with you long after the last page. At the end of the day, for me, I thought that it was more about perseverance than anything and overcoming things in your life, and that just because you were maybe born into a particular family or had things in your family or childhood happen to you, that you have the power to change that and, ultimately create the kind of family that maybe you wish you had. So yeah, Ask Again Yes by Mary Beth Keane. I would say it's worth checking out if you, are someone who can kind of deal with like the lulls in a story, because a couple of times I was kind of like, okay, what's happening here? But I'm glad I did stick it out because I did enjoy it. So if you have read Ask Again Yes, I would love to know your thoughts on the story. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and take this opportunity to click that subscribe button, that notification bell. Thanks again for watching. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.